All right, this episode is titled What is Reality? It came out on November 12th, 1992. Directed by Dick Sabast, written by Robert N. Skier, and Marty Eisenberg. Animation by Acom Productions, featuring Kevin Conroy as Batman, Lauren Lester as Robin, Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred, Beverly Banfield as Clerk, Hal Rail as Broker, and John Glover as the Riddler.
I hardly know her.
Honorable mentions here. Acom animated this episode, and they previously produced the episodes that we've reviewed. God, that's hard to say. Which were Christmas with the Joker, Feet of Clay Part 1, The Cat and the Claw Part 2, Be a Clown, The Last Laugh, Prophecy of Doom, Mad as a Hatter, The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, Cat Scratch Fever, Moon of the Wolf, and Joker's Wild. So Acom had been fired by this point for their terrible work in Cat Scratch Fever, and this episode marks the second to last episode they produced for this show. We have one more episode to go after this. It's the episode titled The Mechanic. Do you remember that episode and what that's about? Batman has a mechanic that works on the Batmobile.
Oh, I like that episode.
Okay, well,
I think I do.
I don't, but you thought you liked this one. So
wait, I think is that what? No, I like that. Lucius Fox is involved, right?
No, Lucius isn't in that one. But yeah, it's a guy and his daughter that like work on it. We'll get to it. We'll get there. That's
I'll tell you what, bud.
One.
Didn't remember this episode, and probably for a good reason, because it is
yeah.
That's me doing the Joker from Batman '89. If you didn't get the reference.
So the animation. What did you think of the animation in this? As we're talking about the Acom.
Fine, like the Riddler splitting up and stuff was cool, and there was some jazzy sort of acid trippy type stuff in there. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't awful. A bit clunky and awkward at points. I noticed lots of little errors, like a door marked Riddle in the VR world that had like question marks in front of it and behind it, and then it changed to just behind it, and then it changed back to in front and behind.
It's VR, man. It's shit's crazy in there.
That's true. Yeah, it can change all the time. Director Dick Sabast. I went to Dick too quickly there. I've got Dick on the brain. Director Dick Sabast has been credited previously in our review of Cat and the Claw Part 2. So go back and listen to that episode if you want to learn more about his career. And writers Robert N. Skier and Marty Eisenberg make their DCAU debut with this episode. They will go on to write the episodes His Silicon Soul and Lock Up for Batman the Animated Series, but they're also known for writing several episodes of Spider-Man the Animated Series, the Mask Animated Series, Gargoyles, Superman the Animated...
I'm the king of the Cuban pizza.
Do you think that film holds up? Because I do. I've seen it in the last year, and it holds up.
But today I saw the clip of that scene, and I was loving it. I was like, this is fantastic.
It's a great film, man. I honestly, I stand by it. I love that film. So
next time I'm at your house, we always chuck on random shit. Let's watch the Mask.
Let's chuck on the Mask. I'm down. I've got other creds here: Gargoyles, Superman the Animated Series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Action Man, and Extreme Ghostbusters. Okay, so Robert N. Skier and Marty Eisenberg both have been guests on this podcast before. Robert also appeared on our Spider-Man the Animated Series podcast. So you have met Robert. We did an episode where he talked about the Spider-Man episodes that he wrote, as well as he went into the Superman the Animated Series episode he wrote with Toyman, which is really creepy. So yeah, you can go back and listen to all those episodes either in this podcast or our other podcast, Spider-Man the Animated Series podcast, to learn more about their careers. Then we got acting creds. All returning voice actors have been credited previously on this podcast in their first appearance on the show, such as Hal Rail and John Glover in If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? And as far as new acting creds go for this show, there's just one. It's Beverly Banfield as the Clerk. She is also known for playing minor roles in shows like Static Shock and The Smurfs. Nothing super notable, but those are her creds. All right, utility belt of fun facts here. Bruce Timm did not like the virtual reality concept for this episode. Virtual reality, he said, is too science fiction-y for our show. While it may be conceivable that it works in 4 or 5 years, Batman transforming himself into a Black Knight and flying around on a chessboard is unfathomable to me. Strangely enough, it's one of the Acom's better episodes. They pulled off a few special effects very well. It's true.
When did he say that?
I don't know. It doesn't have a year, but he gets interviewed all the time. So sometimes it could have been in the 90s or early 2000s, or it could have been last year for all I know.
I still have that fucking Moss song stuck in my head. It's very nice. It's covered in spice.
When he does that mouth thing. Oh man, I really want to watch that again. Okay. The look of Nigma's virtual world was inspired by the works of famous surrealist painters. The staircases Gordon and Robin walked on was a trademark of M.C. Escher. The train emerging from the fireplace was an homage to Rene Magritte's.
Now, I have a little theory that I'd like to chuck into all of this.
Yeah.
I don't know when it came out, but there was something called the Virtual Boy that came out by Nintendo, which was a headset that you would put on, and you would be able to play like Mario Tennis in like virtual reality for that time. But basically, it was just creating it in layers, so you were like, "Whoa, depth!" And all of the color palette is red, and the color palette is very red in this virtual reality world. So maybe they pulled something from the Virtual Boy. I don't know.
It needs your eyes. Virtual Boy. See it now in 3D.
Maybe. I also felt like being very red is very Terminator. Like that's their vision. The T-800's vision is all red when you see it. So.
But if you see what I'm talking about, it like the whole thing they were doing, like virtual reality, Virtual Boy, all red. Like I was like, there must be a connection here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I could always reach back out to Robert or Marty and ask them because I can't remember if they mentioned
it's
that.
Robert or Marty. Oh,
now you're doing another random song. Now that's going to be in your head.
Jiggy bum.
Okay, so the other artists that were paid ode to in the VR world, we got Rene Magritte's Time Transfixed, and the place where Enigma and Batman had their final confrontation was a nod to the paintings of Giorgio di Chirico. Yeah. I don't know. It's Giorgio di Chirico. I'm not the one with the drink of apple juice. Okay. Right. The idea of Riddler leaving behind a numeric pattern hidden in the question of past riddles was later used in Batman Forever, which is true.
And there's more, like him like being messed up at the end is very much like him with the big brain at the end of Batman Forever.
Yeah.
I feel like they were like just sat there like, we could read comic books to get source of truth. Fuck that. I've got an hour. Chuck on a couple episodes of Batman the Animated Series. All right, we'll take from this, we'll take from that. All right, we got a movie.
Yep, and Joel Schumacher was too busy diving into orgies because he said that he slept with like 3,000 people in his lifetime or something ridiculous. You ever heard him talk about that? Yeah.
No.
And that was it was like calculated. It was like over 100 people a year from like age 18 to whatever. It was ridiess.
So every 3 days he's fucking somebody new, basically.
Yes. Yeah, basically, yeah.
I wouldn't want that. It's not for me.
All right, that's why you're not doing it.
I'm happily married to the love of my life.
The name Baxter's Box might be a coincidence, but Nick Baxter is a software engineer who is well known in the puzzle world. He was part of the US team in the first World Puzzle Championship held in 1992, the year that BTAS premiered. He has since served as captain of the US puzzle and Sudoku teams and has run a number of websites dedicated to puzzles, including an auction site for rare mechanical puzzles.
Cool.
Nerd. Okay.
What a fucking loser.
The Baxter Box is also an homage to the Rubik's Cube. Obviously, it looks just like it. The Riddler does eventually escape the virtual reality program, though it is not explained how, and his next episode, Riddler's Reform, depicts him being released from prison on parole. So there's a whole thing that happened there that we don't know about.
I got a theory about that. You know when Batman goes to unplug the machine, like to save Gordon, and he's like, I wouldn't do that. I feel like he like totally lied to him. Batman's like, why? He's like, well, because he's going so fast, it'll be like he hits a brick wall if you unplug it. So don't do that. And Batman's like, okay, fine, I won't. Just at the potential risk of killing Gordon. That could be a complete lie. And I feel like one day, like he's going to be sitting there like, blah, 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 and someone's going to go, nah, just turn it off. They turn it off. He's like, oh, I'm out of that now. Thank you for turning it off. And now I'm going to trial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe. The Riddler does almost exactly the same thing he did in the first episode he appeared, which is, if you're so smart, why aren't you rich? By trapping someone in a specialized game that he designed where Batman must solve numerous riddles.
Riddles. Do you need a second to, like...
Apparently.
Do you need to do red leather, yellow leather, and all that stuff?
Red leather, yellow. Oh, I can't do it. Wow.
And you need to do that.
Tongue-tied, twisted, just to help my
The Human Torch was
eyes.
denied a bank loan. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Oh my god! Save the children!
Finally, the chessboard stage of the virtual reality world was adapted in the second stage of the Riddler level in the Super Nintendo game The Adventures of Batman and Robin that came out in 1994. That would have been cool. I would have played that. It was very much a video game, this episode. Like, I know it was intended that way, but...
We didn't own Super Nintendo growing up.
That's very true. Okay, what did you think of this episode?
Ooh.
Yeah, not great. Not great, Bob.
I just was... it's so similar to the previous one, and I have the other one, I have huge nostalgic goggles when watching it.
But it's also better. The other one is better.
I think it is better. And the fact that we live now in a modern world where VR is a common thing, like for it to be like this crazy thing back then, it's just and also like I look, we've already established I fucking suck at riddles, right? Like, and I fucking hate riddles. But this episode took the cake of the way they solved everything, and I was like, oh, this is feeling so Batman 66. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
And even like Robin like figures out one. He's like, oh my goodness, and I was like, what are we doing here, guys? Like,
yeah.
Penny, cent, red cent, copper. It's made of copper.
And copper is another word for policeman.
Just jumping from conclusion to conclusion and somehow landing on the answer with no substance on how they got there. He was like, penny is made of copper. Another name for copper is a cop. Police and the head on the penny. Police headquarters. I was like, how did you get there, Batman?
It wasn't that cool, you know? Like, figuring that stuff out to me is just a bit lame. You know,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's
lame. It just, I don't know, was not for me. If other people enjoy it, that's fine.
Yep, not for me either. Music, nothing stood out to me. The Riddler theme is in there, but not as prevalent as his first episode. So there wasn't anything major that stood out as far as new music is concerned. I did relate so hard to the jogger at the start of this episode, though. Like seeing my account balance on the screen and watching those numbers drop very quickly.
You wish
0.
that was your account balance.
Yeah, but then it went down to 0, and I was like, oh, I'm in there. Like,
yeah. You jogging and checking an ATM machine is never going to happen in your life.
No, that's true. It's not. I just checked my phone.
I don't know how you related to that guy.
What is this, some kind of joke? Listen, you stupid machine, I want my money.
Yeah, you know, the guy that was being physically active and checking his bank account regularly.
I used to jog. Maybe I did in my past. No, it's not me. Yeah, and I wasn't hacked by the Riddler either.
We all jogged in our 20s, bud, regularly. You know.
All right, fine. I
used to be a jogger. Look at me now. Fucking hell.
I related to him because he was balding, and so am I. There, you happy?
He wasn't balding. He had a full head of hair.
Fuck. All right. Okay.
What else you got?
Next one. There's something so quaint about Alfred and Dick running errands together during the day. Like, they were waiting in line at the bank, and I just wondered what else they had planned that day to like do with one another. Like, were they going to surprise Bruce later with a cake or a nice meal? Were they going to do something? Are they going to go to the cinema together, watch a movie?
Yeah. Ooh, I've been would you like to see that, me, little Dick? It's Big Dick, Alfred.
I've seen it.
I've seen it. It's very small. Shockingly small.
I can see why they call you Robin now. Tiny little bird.
Took me a while to get that one, but I got there. It works. It landed. Like a robin lands on stuff because it's a bird. Oh, it's really good.
Your dick's not landing on anything, though.
Yeah. Me, on the other hand, I pull every 3 days, just like Joe Schumacher. They call me Joe Schumacher around here, actually.
It's Joel, not Joe.
I said Joel, didn't I?
I think you said Joe, like that's his handyman. Like, I'm Joe Schumacher.
Hey, it's me, Joe Shoemaker. I make your shoes in Brooklyn. I'm a clubber. Is that what they're called?
What, he goes out to clubs?
Clubber, I hardly know her.
No,
it's
a
cobbler.
Cobbler.
And I love peach cobblers and apple. Is there an apple cobbler? There should be. If there's not,
Joe, you want to have an orgy with me, Joe?
We fucked already several times, Alfred. You just don't remember. 1 of 1,000.
Stop whining, Alfred. If you think the ticket's a mistake, you'll get a chance to tell the whole story to the clerk when we get up there.
If I live that long.
So I did notice after Gordon gets hounded by reporters, he enters his office and we hear Batman's voice from the darkness and Gordon doesn't even react. But when Batman comes out of the shadow, Gordon flinches and I was like, oh, are you going deaf? Or like, you getting that old? Because you heard his voice and didn't react. And then he stepped out.
He grabs his heart as well, which they're establishing that, like, why they don't want to unplug the machine later on because it might kill him because he's like,
Oh,
that's a trepid heart.
I didn't notice that. But I just noticed a delayed reaction. And then another delayed reaction comes from Batman later on when he's in the VR world and Robin tells him not to open the door before Batman has even put his hand on the door handle. Yet Batman still opens the door and realizes he shouldn't have. I was like, he told you, Batman, and you weren't even opening the door yet.
What's that? Oh, don't open the door. It's wide open. I can't shut it. You didn't tell me I couldn't shut the door. I specifically said don't open it. Yeah, but you say a lot of things, and I kind of wanted to be like, I was just like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to open the fucking door, I'm Batman.
When someone tells Batman not to do something, he does it, He has to
Go
do
fuck yourself. I immediately regret doing this. I wish someone warned me.
Batman, don't open that door. Crazy intent means loco voted.
So Riddler's henchmen dress up as cops, and when we see them for the first time, they walk into the filing room like they're doing the robot. Did you see the way they were like walking into the filing room? They were doing this weird dance and this weird
they're
move.
Getting paid, and they don't have to wear a stupid costume or like buy 2 suits and sew them together or anything like that. They're like, steal a file? No, all right, that sounds pretty fucking easy to me.
And later on, when Riddler asks if they made sure they got the only existing papers on his identification, they look so unsure. Like one of them looks at the other, like, "Did we make sure of that?" And he's like, "Yeah, we did. We definitely did. We definitely did."
Both those guys were you in that situation where you both went. We don't actually know, but it'd be a ball ache to go back and fucking check. So it's just this. Just say yeah. It's the safest option, and we'll just hope that it's real.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
They biffed it.
They biffed it big time.
Did you make certain these are the only existing copies? They'd better be.
What did you think of the giant Riddler box scene with the cops watching Batman and Robin in that room?
Lame. I don't know. It wasn't very good.
I did think that the fact that the SWAT team all drew their guns when they were outside of that Riddler box and it opens, and I was like, why are you drawing your guns? You're going to shoot the bomb to death? Like, they heard it ticking, and they all draw their guns. And I was like, that's the last thing you want to do is fire at a bomb,
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb, those cops.
Coppers. Wait a minute. That's another name for a penny, because it's made out of copper. There's a giant penny in the Batcave. Penny's worth. The most obvious joke of all.
Oh, okay. And there's the connection, everybody. There's the joke that no one saw us making.
Shut the fuck up and get back to liking our goddamn Instagram content.
Riddler also says, you know what they say? Curiosity killed the bat. And this bothered me so much because I was like, he knew that it's cat. He obviously knows, and he's saying bat.
Why does that bother you?
But no one's there. He's smarter than that.
How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
He's amusing himself.
But that's not funny. It's just lame. Like, there's no connection. It's just Batman, Bat.
He's like, that was a good one. I might give that to Mr. Freeze. He could use it for his tight 7. 7 hours.
It's 7. It's gone up.
Does anybody have any time for my weekend-long special? It's a bank holiday weekend, so it's 3 days. It's going to be pretty cool.
Do you know where bank holidays come from? It's like, where's this going? It's pretty boring.
Do you not have the answer?
I don't know.
It's because all the banks wanted to be chill for one day. They're like, cool off, man. Take a day off. If you like this, it's 3 days of it. So. Nora. Nora's my side piece now, so if anybody is looking for a cool guy to fun, there's no one there. But I am streaming. Hopefully somebody's watching.
Oh, I've got someone in the chat. Oh, no, they're gone.
The one person watching is Nora. Oh, ignore that last thing I said. Love you.
Oh, it appears my internet is freezing.
I'm so funny. What is fuck crime? This is me. This is fun. I love it.
Careful, Vigilante. You know what they say. Curiosity killed the bat.
So when Batman and Gordon leave Robin alone with the computer, he looks so excited and he like cracks his knuckles before typing, and he's undoubtedly looking at VR porn. Like, yeah, there's no question.
Like, all right, let's just look up Gotham hotties in my local area.
And later on, he shows Gordon how it works too, and he's so excited. And I can just imagine him be like, you don't need to wank to magazines anymore, Commissioner. You can spank it in virtual reality. It feels like they're actually in the room with you. I've just seen Barbara like 5 seconds ago.
I don't want to see that. I'm more of a shower wanker myself.
I like to spank it in the water, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's right. I like to fight how much hot water I have, and as it gets colder and colder, it's like the pressure to finish is just really excites me.
Someone's got a bit real there, bringing their real life experience.
No, absolutely not.
It's a virtual reality program. Instead of using a keyboard or joystick, you put this puppy on and enter a whole computer-generated world and interact with everything in it as if it actually existed.
What do you mean?
So do you think Batman knew the answers to all the riddles before Alfred said them? Because he's like, yeah, I know. Any schoolboy knows that one.
I know this is important to him, so I figured it out like the moment Riddler said it, but so what if it's copper? Another word for copper, cops. Oh, Alfred, that's really good. Well done. We're gonna print that. You solved the riddle. We're gonna print it and put it on the fridge, which you're the only one that sees it because you're the only one that goes in the kitchen. That way matter. That sounds nice, huh? And then if you add them all up, then that's the room that they're in, sir. Wow. That's the same room that we've been in this whole fucking time, Alfred, but that's very good. It's hinting a bit of sarcasm in your voice, sir. No. You're really good at it. Are you laughing at me, sir? Riddle me this, Bruce. Who has access to all your fucking laundry? Good luck washing your own bitches. I bet you don't know how to use a fucking washing machine, do you? World's greatest detective. What setting do I wash your fucking pants at without getting them ruined? Tell me that riddle, you prick. Go ahead, wash your cape. Do you know the material it's made of? 7 different materials. I have to wash it 7 different times. This shit just grows on fucking trees, sir? Christ, riddle me this. You're a prick. That's it. That's the riddle. Solve that one, you prick.
A 500-pound gorilla, a millipede, meaning 1,000 legs, and 5 elephants. Now let's convert them to Roman numerals. Look,
DMV. Department of Motor Vehicles.
So the DMV fight with the henchman was fun too. I thought Batman gets taken out by a license plate and a rope pole, and I was like, buddy, you face worse odds than that. Like, did you see the way that guy threw that license plate at Batman? I was like, have you studied with like the League of Shadows or something? He like even made the same folly as a batarang when he threw it.
League of Shadows taught me how to throw a license plate.
I'd spent some time training at the DMV in Tibet.
It will test any man, the DMV. I learned great patience there.
And then my Love That Batman moment is when he's searching the wreckage of the remote-controlled Riddler van, and he's silhouetted with just his eyes and the torchlight. I thought he looked really cool there, the way it was like perspective inside the van. That looked great. And I thought that remote-controlled Riddler van was a fun little scene. I think I liked that scene the most.
I think I liked that scene the most as well.
Yeah.
Except for when Batman... When Riddler's like, careful, Batman, you don't know how nitroglycerin or whatever it is, like...
Glycerin?
Hits a wall. I said whatever it is, I couldn't remember the word. And then Batman goes, like he makes like this huge breathing, like, shot. Oh my god! I'm gonna blow up!
It's glycerin. Glycerine! You ever heard that song? Glycerine!
Isn't that what I said?
You said glycerin.
It's the posh way of saying it. Glycerin.
Now who's me from 10 years ago?
Your common tongue use of the word. It's like fucking posh people that say COVID. It's like, mate, we've all lived through it. It is COVID. COVID. No. It is COVID.
Because it makes you cough.
Now, while you're disabling my van, you might wish to consider the effect of the imminent collision on the nitroglycerin inside.
So Robin fucked up big time in this episode because he searched the software for a phone line connection, not the hardware. And Batman looks so annoyed with him when Riddler revealed the wireless modem.
Stupid fucking idiot.
Who searches just the software? Like, if my internet's not working, I'll test the software and then I'll go to the hardware, the modem, and be like, all right, if that's not working, it's got to be the hardware. Who just skips that bit? What a
Well, he's talking about the hardware of like the actual thing he put into the computer. That's what took it over.
Yeah, because he said you might find the wireless modem, which you missed because you're a fucking idiot.
Which is not going to exist for at least 10 years.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, wow.
Like VR is 20 years. I should have patented it. Like, you know, that guy that's always trying to get him, like, did you make a new toy? It's like, I invented VR. Oh!
Sign this contract, this work for hire contract. I did it again.
I invented wireless internet and VR, and I made no fucking money off of it. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Oh. A riddle I can never solve. I'm changing my name to the Biffler, because all I do is biff.
And also get some ass. I do still pull.
Luckily, I fuck more than Joel Schumacher and Joe Shoemaker. Combined.
The Riddler, haha.
I fucked both of them as well. That was a great three-way.
A lot of shoes were made that day.
Absolute power triangle.
I made in a shoe.
I made in my shoes. Joel filmed it.
Where have we gone with this one? It's the most ridiculous tangent ever.
Amazing.
So what did you think of the VR chessboard sequence in this episode?
It's fucking Harry Potter. I was waiting for Robin, when I make my move.
You're free to check the king.
Robin's like, what? No, Batman, you can't. And then Gordon goes, he's going to sacrifice himself.
What is it?
No, it can't be Robin. It can't be Gordon. It's going to be me.
I got it. They call you the Dark Knight, right? Then you have to move like a knight. That's it. 2 up, 1 across.
I did like how when he started moving like a knight, he got knighted, but he turned into a knight and he's like, Enigma, what's this? Like, he's clearly not into it.
Whoa, what the fuck is going on there?
I was on board with this, but now...
I'm on a fucking horse and I've got knight's armor. This is lame.
I am not into LARPing, all right? I'm out.
Enigma, what are you up to now?
So what did you think of multiple Batmans versus multiple Riddlers as well?
Seemed like something out of one of the ending of one of the newer Arkham games or something like that, you know?
That's a good point. I felt very Neo versus Agent Smith, especially when Batman went back to being one versus all of them.
Yeah,
that
well,
was pretty cool.
a lot of this episode plays on the same ideals as well, not ideas as the Matrix, because they can't tell what's the difference of reality. And basically, Batman becomes Neo in this episode because he's like, I'm aware that this is a program, and the first thing he does is make sledgehammers for hands, which is quite a bold move. I mean, Neo stopped bullets. That was pretty fucking dope. Batman went for sledgehammer hands. I guess, he's probably got Hal Larron on the brain or something. Hal Jordan on the brain.
He didn't look very cool either when he was walking towards him. He's like, how cool do I look? And Nick was like, you look way cooler as a knight.
I'm your sledgehammer.
I wanna be your Riddler.
Gordon in the background. I'm high as shit, Batman. It's had a great day.
They're not even in VR. They're just in Riddler's living room, high as fuck.
I wanna show for you.
You may control this world, Enigma, but I still control myself.
The name is Riddler. Edward Nigma no longer exists.
So Batman fools Riddler into multiplying himself so much that he can't keep control of the VR world and saves Gordon. And then Batman and Robin follow a riddle and find a comatose Riddler still trapped in the VR world. And after taking only 3 seconds to look at him, they deduce that they can't save him and just leave him there to die. Again, they've left another villain at the end to be like, well, that solves that. And I'm like, the janitor's going to find him the next day.
Hey, I save people, okay? This is out of my wheelhouse. It's like, well, no, Batman, you need to save him. He is in danger. Yeah, but he just turned me into like a knight on a Pegasus, and Gordon was playing the flute part of Sledgehammer, which is a great song, by the way. Really good song. It's in my head constantly now. And, the Arkham will deal with this shit. Right?
Even Gordon walks away. He's like, yeah, I can't help him. He's done.
You mean he's been trapped inside his own program?
Could be. And how to get him out may be a riddle no one can solve.
That's the end of this episode. Buddy, as always, we go into top 3 first. Our top 3 right now are Almost Got 'Em, Joker's Favor, and The Laughing Fish. Does this episode dethrone any of those episodes for you?
Makes maybe my bottom 3.
Yeah. And then ranking out of 10, what would you rank it out of 10?
A 4 out of 10.
Ooh, I gave it a 5 out of 10. So we're 4.5 out of 10. And guess what? There's no fit check for this episode. Everybody was in their normal costumes. Even Nigma, he wore like his little bow tie costume outside the Riddler outfit, but we saw that last time.
Batman turned into a knight riding a Pegasus. That's a fit check.
That's true. Well, look at you in this little category that you hate so much. Okay, good shout. Yeah, Batman Knight.
That'll be a weird toy that Tom McFarlane makes. So he's like, right, guys? Everyone's like, that's a really niche, one. Jesus.
I mean, he's made the Joker mobile from Joker's Wild, and I feel like that's kind of niche. That was just in a casino for 5 seconds. So, yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Some of those new toys he's put out, including a big old Batman cowl. Have you seen that? The animated series? Another one I want to add to my collection that I don't have yet.
I've seen the room you podcasted. It is not big enough for collection stuff.
Oh, it's true.
Maybe get some animation cells in the future or something you can hang on the wall.
That's a nice idea. But they're so expensive.
Maybe I'll do a Father Christmas has come for the next 3 years, and he's not coming again for 3 years.
All right, that sounds good.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
Okay, so that wraps up this review. Next week, we are going to review the episode I Am the Night. Do you remember anything about that episode?
No.
Okay, that's an episode that a lot of people have on their top 5 list, usually, sometimes even top 3 of this show. So maybe it lives up to that.
Any hints?
The hint is the Jazz Man. I'm the Jazz Man. Skit scat. Look out, Gordon. Look out, Gordon. I'm the Jazz Man. Skit scat, skit scat.
When I think of the Jazz Man, I think of the Jazz Demon from
Samurai Jack?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, there's also a jazz villain in Samurai Jack, though, right? I'm not
Yes,
off on that one.
the jazz villain inspired my mummy character in my upcoming book, Mobster Mash.
That's right.
And if you'd like to know more about Mobster Mash, then go to speechcomics.com and sign up for my newsletter.
All right, and come back next week where we'll review I Am the Night.